Healthy socialites, good morning, hello there, or good evening it could be even in the afternoon. And guys, it's a Long Island iced tea workout today. We all know the drill with Long Island iced tea workouts. It's 5 movements, it's 5 minutes, it's 5 rounds if possible. Guys, what I want you to do first is I'm going to give you a little bit of a warm through. Very, very important that we get nice and warm. We're going to warm up the hips, we're going to warm up the shoulders, and then I'm going to meet you right back here and we're going to start the circuit. Off you go warm up, go. So guys, here we have our 90-degree hip opener. We're going to do this for 40 seconds on each side. I want you to sit with your legs at 90 degrees, chest up nice and tall, using the hand behind you for a little bit of leverage to keep yourself upright. And then keeping one knee on the ground, I want you to bring up the other knee up to a perpendicular so that the knee is pointing towards the ceiling. I want you to flatten the foot on the ground, as you can see there. So opening out the hips, this is going to be a nice hip opener here, guys, nice and loose through the hips. So we're going to do 40 seconds on one side, we're going to do 40 seconds on the other. As you can see, we switched over there. Both knees on the ground, keeping one knee on the ground as we open up the other side. That's great. So dropping the knee back down to the ground, making sure the other knee stays on the floor. Well done, Wesley. There we go. And stretch out. So it's a nice hip opener, guys. Making sure, again, you keep your chest up nice and tall so there's no slouching. That's great. And just feel the stretch through the groin. Guys, next one is articular rotations. This is great for just loosening up the hips and just getting some fluid through the joint. We're going to raise up, we're going to stand on one leg. You can use a little pole on one side if you need a bit of balance or using the wall. We're going to raise up one knee, rotate it laterally out, and then rotate it internally in. So raise the knee, rotate it out, rotate it inwards, kicking your heel back towards the wall, and then back down again. So out, rotate in, and down. Let's do the other side, guys. So 40 seconds on one side, 40 seconds on the other. Knee up, rotate out, rotate in, and then back down again. So out, and you can see here you rotate in and then back down. Good. So you're kind of kicking your heel towards the back wall, just trying to get as much movement as you can. Try to limit the amount of movement through the hips as well, guys. So try not to lean forwards with it. Try and just move that hip joint in the ball and socket. That's wonderful. 40 seconds on each side, guys. Next one is a sumo hamstring stretch. So we're going to stand in a sumo stance with our legs nice and straight. So feet about shoulder width apart, probably a little bit wider than that, I would say, guys. If you think like a sumo wrestler would like slam his feet out to the side, nice and wide, ready for the wrestle. And then with a pole, you can use a pole behind your back. This is a really good source of feedback. So you want 3 points of contact on your head, shoulders, and hips. If we go too low, guys, and we start to bend the back, we absolutely do not want anything like a bent back. So we want to keep those. That's it. Good. You do not want that at all. That's going to really overstretch you. It's not going to do anything at all. It's going to come into your lower back. So we want nice straight lines, guys, from your neck, shoulders, and your hip, keeping your chin tucked in so your neck is nice and long. That's great. Wonderful, guys. Okay, the next one, guys, is a single leg hip raise with a toe tap. So we're going to raise the hips, lying flat on your back. We're going to raise your hips up in the air. And then just on one side, we're going to raise the knee up towards the chest and then just down and tap the toe back to the ground. So this is working on here, on this movement here, we're working the right leg. And now we're going to change it over to the left leg. So raising up the hips, tucking the right knee up towards the chest. So this time we're working the left leg, just tapping the toe to the floor so we keep that tension on the left leg all the time. Trying to keep a nice straight line through from your knee to your shoulder. And just keep your hands on the ground just to stabilize you there. That's great. Making sure the heel on the other foot stays firmly on the ground, and that's where you're pushing through. Okay, guys, next one is prone shoulder rotations. Here, if you can grab a broomstick or a brush handle or something like that. We're going to lie flat on your tummy, so in a prone position. We're going to go as wide as we can with the bar that we're using. With straight arms, we're just going to rotate the shoulders and bring the bar behind you so that it ends up at in the lower back at the top of the hips. So just depending on how your shoulders allow this, guys. If you can get all the way down, that's great. If you can maybe only get halfway through, that's absolutely fine. Just don't stretch too far. Make sure there's no pain. Your next one, guys, here is a chest opener. So we're going to go through like a little scorpion tail. So you want to be 90 degrees at the shoulder and elbow. Again, in that prone position, 90 degrees at the shoulder and elbow. And then you're going to raise up your opposite leg and you're going to reach it right over to the opposite side of the body. So like a little tail of a scorpion would reach over and tap the opposite side. And you're just trying to reach as far as you can. This is going to open up the chest with the arms being at 90 degrees. That's going to open up the chest. You'll feel a stretch through the front of the shoulder. That's lovely, lovely. And you can see here, guys, from the front. So you can use your other arm just tucked by your side of your chest for a little bit of leverage. Again, making sure your arm is 90 degrees. If you want a little bit of an extra stretch, guys, you can go a little bit further out from the body. And you can see how that opposite leg comes up and over and taps the ground if you can. You're going to get a nice back stretch as well here, guys. A nice rotation through the back. So give that a go. Again, nice and slow and steady, making sure the shoulder keeps in contact with the floor all the way through the movement. And the next one, guys, here, for shoulder stability, it's just a single arm shoulder tap. 40 seconds on one side, 40 seconds on the other. Feet nice and wide, about shoulder width apart. We're then going to raise the left arm and we're going to tap the right shoulder. So this is going to work on the stability of the right shoulder. And then we're going to do the same on the left-hand side. This is wonderful, guys. That's great. So nice and straight through the hips, nice and still through the hips. We don't want any rotating or wobbling. We want to make sure that the hips are nice and square and still. This is great. Keeping your arms nice and straight. Relax the shoulders and make sure there's a nice big gap between your ear and your shoulder. Hey guys, we are back. Time for Long Island iced teas. No equipment needed today, guys. If you do have a small set of dumbbells, by all means you can grab them to make some of these movements a little bit harder. But let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's get to it. Let's go! Okay, here we go, guys. Alternating Turkish get-ups. We're going to do 1 minute on each movement here, guys. Starting off with alternating Turkish get-ups. What we do here, we start from I prefer to start from the top position. One arm above the head. We're going to slowly lunge down, drop our hand to the side, tuck that leg from underneath and then lie down. We're going to roll back up again, thrust the hip, rotate the knee behind you, rotate back up again and stand. This is great. So this is a very, very good movement, guys, for mobility and stability. Roll up, thrust your hip, tuck your knee back, tall and proud. Alternate at the top. Lunge down, hand to the side, tuck the leg under and roll down. Rolling back up again, thrust, tuck the knee, rotate and stand, and again alternating the other side. With the hand that is above your head, guys, you can add a little bit of weight if you'd like, as long as you have the stability. Next one is roll-ups, everybody. So nice straight legs, nice straight body from the ground, and we're just going to slowly roll through the spine. So you're going to tuck your head and shoulders, that's it, leading with your upper body, and then leading with the lower back. That's great, good. So lead with the upper body up to the top and then roll through the lower back, through the lumbar spine. That's great, all the way down to flat. There you go. So the legs being straight will give you some nice anchorage here to the ground, guys. This is a nice Pilates move that you can use to work on core strength. You'll be working your legs as well. You can see your legs are nice and tight. They're helping you keep your hips nice and stable, keeping your body on the ground. Rolling down and then rolling back up again. That's good. Try not to jerk here, guys. So try not to throw yourself up. Try and be as controlled as possible on the way up and on the way down. Then we're going to move into eccentric push-ups here, guys. So slowly down. We're then going to extend our arm, tuck our thumb to our shoulder. 2 rolls like that. Roll back up again and then slowly aim our chest down to the ground. Relax on the ground. Stretch out, tuck. Stretch out, tuck. Roll back up to the top. So no effort on the way up, guys. All the work is on the way down. Tap the chest to the floor. Stretch out, tap, stretch out and tap. When we stretch out with those arms, guys, make sure we really, really push to make our arms as long as we can. Make sure we really fully extend. Straight arm and back. Straight arm and back. Very good. Rolling up to that eccentric again. Making sure our hips stay above our chest line. Making sure our chest touches the ground first. Stretch and tap. Stretch and tap. Very nice, guys. Good. So keep these going. This is a really good way of building up strength in your push-up. And then that's a nice back extension there, guys, just to get those back muscles working, which is quite hard to do when we are not using weights. Okay, we're going to turn this into then a man maker. It sounds like a horrible movement, guys, but it's actually very good, again, for a little bit of hip mobility and shoulder stability. So from a high plank position, we're going to step in to a nice wide squat, making sure our hands are flat on the floor and our feet come right outside of the hands, guys. So we don't want our hands ahead of our feet in this position, especially when we're coming up to that movement there. That's good. So hands down between the feet, step out, big stride back in, into that squat position, and then a little hop at the top. This is a nice way of getting your body nice and warm, guys. Really, really good movement, again, for mobility and a little bit of stretching. Step out, hips nice and square and still. That's great. Trying to pull your shoulders back, trying to keep your back as straight as possible. Try not to let your hips lag as you step out in that position. Try and keep it nice and square and steady. Okay, last one here, guys. We're going to go into a squat. And then as we come up from the squat, we're going to rotate and we're going to bring our opposite knee to our opposite elbow. That's it. And get a nice big rotation through your torso. Important thing here, guys, is to get your knee to your elbow instead of your elbow to your knee. So if you bend your elbow down to your knee, you're going to get a lot of flexion through the back. And we actually want to keep the back extended here as much as we can. We want to raise up the chest. We want to keep the chest up nice and proud. So aim to bring your knee to your elbow rather than your elbow to your knee. Focusing on the squat, guys, as well. It's always nice to do squats in bare feet. You get a lot of contact with the floor through the toes. Pushing the heel down, driving the knees forwards, chest up nice and tall, rotate, knee to elbow, and there we have it. And there you have it, everybody. There's your Long Island Iced Tea workout. Excellent job. Guys, I want you to take a minute's rest right now, and then I want you to repeat that circuit for 5 rounds. You've done 1 round already, you've got 4 remaining. Everybody, go for your life, work hard, nice and slow, control movements. I'll see you next time. Bye.